Hello friends, this is our third lecture of envy by Francis Bacon, so let's begin. But leaving these curiosities, though not unworthy to be thought on in fit places. Curiosities here means love and envy, they are very strong emotions, they produce vehement feelings, violent emotions, and both become live when they see the object that either they love or they envy. And then again we saw that this envy is when envy strikes, when the object of envy is in glory or in triumph, and the scriptures say that envy is evil eye, and the astrologers say this evil aspect. So these are the curiosities connected with the envy. Curiosities means say points of interest, some points of interest. But leaving these curiosities, though not unworthy to be thought on in fit places. These are worthy, useful, but not here. Some other place we can do. In the context, some other context, it will be, I think, more suitable. That is what Bacon says. We will handle what persons are apt to envy others, what persons are most subject to be envied themselves, and what is the difference between public and private envy. So what we are going to see, there are three things. One, who are the persons who are envied, means the object of envy. Who are the persons who envy, means the actor. The other is the receiver, here is the actor. And what is the difference between public and private envy? Now what he is going to tell us is about private envy. Private envy means a person, say, in private life, so to say. Not public life, in private life. Private life, see, when you sometimes what happens, when you come to know that, when some people come to know that their friends or their friend has scored very high marks, they cannot accommodate that. They cannot suffer it. So then that envy of this person and that person is private envy. It's a private affair, so to say. So that's what we are going to see. A man that hath no virtue in himself ever envieth virtue in others. This is the first class of people. A person with no virtue. That's one. No virtue. Persons with no virtue. What will happen? Virtue means no good quality. There are some people like that. There are no good quality at us. So therefore what happens? They will envy others who have some good quality. It's very, very natural. Because he says, for whence men's minds will either feed upon their own goods. Feed upon means you will be busy with your own goods. Human beings are like this. Either they will be busy with their own goods or upon others' evil. If you have nothing, no good, no virtue, then they will look at other people's evil, means bad things. Say, see that, he's like this. He's newly rich. And somebody builds a good house, maybe out of hard work, say saving and all those things. You say, see, he has taken bribe. So that is it. This man cannot do anything. He's a spendthrift. Maybe lavish living and so on. So no savings, no money. But the other man, hardworking, saving, and everything is balanced as far as he is concerned. Now he is constructing a good house. He said, see, he has taken bribe. Otherwise he cannot be like this, they will say. So that is, either you will feed up on your own good qualities or others' evil. Because the mind cannot be left in a vacuum. The mind cannot remain in an empty situation. Understand? Vacant. It has to be filled. Either it is with your good or it should be with others' evil. And who wanteth the one, wanteth means lacks. L-A-C-K-S, lacks. Who does not have. Who wanteth the one will prey upon the other. Who wanteth the one means virtue, good qualities. Prey upon means others will be his victim. prey upon. Means others consider others as a victim. That's it. For example, we can say tigers prey upon deer or any animal prey upon. It's a prey victim. So here, one will prey upon the other. One is not W-A-N-D one, but lacking, not having. That's the thing, not having. So upon the other, and whoso is out of hope to attain to another's virtue. Suppose there is a person, you see, there is a good singer. You try to become like him, but you are unable to. So you are unable to attain his virtue, means his good quality. What will happen? Will seek to come at even hand by depressing another's fortune. That is the thing. See, you find that if there are students in a class, you will find 5 or 6 will be very brilliant. The rest of them, they may not be. And some others may be very low. So those people are very low, they will always look at those brilliant people. But they try their best, but they cannot. So what is the next option? Next option is think of that is an even hand, equal. Try to come equal with them by depressing another's fortune. Depressing means saying bad things about another's fortune. They will say that they are brilliant because they are the sons and daughters of doctors or professors. Or they will say they are given private tuition. Or they will say they give bribes to their professors. Such kind of thing they will say, to depress the fortune of the other. Understand? Speak badly about the fortune or lack or virtue of others. So, people who have no virtue, they envy other people as virtue. Then another point is human nature, that your mind cannot remain vacant. Either you will feel or you will think about busy yourself with your own good, or you will busy yourself with the evil things of others, bad things of others. Another point is that when you are unable to attain the virtue of another person, even though you try your best, but you are unable to attain, then what will you do? You will start speaking badly about the person who has that virtue. So that is the second class of Manichaeans. One is people having no virtue. Second is unable to attain, people who are unable to attain virtue found in others. Because they want to become equals. No, they can't become equal by attaining that level. So what do they speak bad about the person who is virtuous. Virtuous here means good qualities, person who have got good qualities. A man that is busy and inquisitive is commonly envious. That's the third class of people. A person who is very busy, inquisitive and busy persons. Because they cannot, they will ask, what's happening? What has happened? When somebody's photo, for example, appears in the newspaper, I say, look at it, see, he has done. What's the problem? How did he become like this? See, we know, he is an ordinary person, but he has done something, some underhand business he has got. Like that they will say. So they are inquisitive people. For a man that is busy and inquisitive is commonly envious. You can be sure about that, Sir, you are not concerned about yours, but other people's business. 4. To know much of other men's matters cannot be because all that's ado. Ado means trouble. Shakespeare's play, much ado about nothing. Much trouble about nothing. All that ado may concern his own estate. Therefore, it must needs be that he taketh a kind of pleasure in looking upon the fortunes of others. So, if you find among you somebody who is always worried about other people, not him. Now, anyhow, it's not he has nothing to do with that. But still, he is interested in that. Inquisitive, asking questions. What happened? Especially this happens, especially after marriage. See that? And say, how is she? Like is she? What can she? Father, see how much money? What is the dowry and things like that. Just inquiring. How many brothers she has got? Or how many sisters she has got? This is the fourth one or fifth one, or like that. Why should you worry about all this? They will have a life of their own. But if you are doing this, what do you do? You collect news. This is like antenna. Some people used to call people antenna. They collect the news. And they go around spreading. What you collect and what you spread will be, there is nothing, there may be diametrically opposite of what you collect. That is to harm other people's reputation. There's a play pleasure. There's a play pleasure. Even if there is no quarrel between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, they will, oh, our family is gone after the marriage. They are fighting every day. I can hear. Maybe they are good people and they are living a very happy life. See that? Sitting together and watching TV programs, etc. But this man or this woman is a blood pressure or an antenna. She will go around saying that, oh, that family is gone, finished. It's because that is blood pressure, they say. In looking upon the fortunes of others, if you find a person who is so inquisitive, so worried about other people's business, we have a very famous MYOB. What is MYOB means? MYOB. That means mind your own business. Mind your own business. If people come asking for too many questions about your life and your life partner and your family, relationships and etc. MYOB. That is mind your own business. If you mind others' business too much, that means he is envious. He wants to derive some pleasure. What Bacon says, play pleasure. That's what he said. Neither can he that minded, but his own business find much matter for envy. If a person is minding his own business, that is your own business, MYOB, then what will happen? He has no time for this play pleasure or collecting news from others. For envy is a gadding passion. Gadding means wandering. So wandering passion. Some news collected from there, some news collected from here, then spread it to there, go and tell the whole thing there, and come back and collect news from some other place. So that is a wandering passion. Wandering passion, and passion is a strong emotion, strong desire, and walketh the streets and both not keep home. So envy, emotion, and as well as the human being who has it, both will not keep home. Means they will not stay home. They are wandering people. They go around collecting. As I just now told you, they are antennas. Understand? Antenna. So that is there. There is a famous Latin saying, non est, no curiosus quin sit malevolus. Non est curiosus, non est curiosus, quin idem sit malevolus, quin idem sit malevolus. So you have got English word malevolence. Malevolent and benevolent. Benevolent means person who has got good mind. Opposite of that is malevolent. See? Malice, evil. So, known as is not curiosus. A person who is very curious. Sit malevolus. Means he who is very curious is 100% malevolent, evil-minded person. A person who is curious is an evil-minded person. Why? Because he wants to collect this play pleasure. Enjoy the play pleasure of collecting, giving. Collecting, giving. Collecting, giving. And that too mixed with his own spices. Not only the thing that he receives, but he will mix it with the spices of his own. And then he will distribute. That's what. He will dish out like this. So a person who is busy with other people's business, 101%, he is envious. So what class of people are envious? Who are being envied? Virtuous persons, people who have no virtue, will envy virtuous persons. People who want to become equal with a person in quality or in an ability or a talent, when he is unable to achieve it, he will envy people who are talented. Second, third is people who are very busy with other people's life. Their main interest is collecting news from others and giving it to some other people, a third person. So here is first person collecting from second person and giving to third person. That's what these people do. Understand? Yeah. So that is it. So such people there. And the Latin quotation says that all those who are curious, they are bound to be envious. If you are a curious person, then you are bound to be envious. Otherwise, what is the fun? For what are you collecting the news about others? Why? What is your purpose? And nothing to do with you. You may be having no girl children. Another person may be having only boys. So some marriage takes place in that house. You are concerned more about the newcomer than your own daughters. That means what? It's black flesh, envious people. So we have seen three classes of people. One, people have no virtue, they envy virtuous people. People who are unable to attain the virtue found in others, they envy talented people. People who are inquisitive and busy with other people's business, they envy other people. Hope we are following, but before we say bye, COVID is a worldwide threat. Get battle ready. Virus versus humans are fight around the globe, across the world. War rooms fight COVID threat, so we remain battle ready. Plus, be academic, be alert. Don't waste your time. You have got plenty of time these days, so just start reading all the essays of, means starting with the first essay to the 58th essay. That is Bacon's. You must enjoy, and it's a food for thought. Counsels, moral and civil. His essays are counsels, moral and civil. Very useful in day-to-day life, very useful in your family life, very useful in your public life, very useful for you to your own personal life. Means meditating about these points, and very useful if you are a good public speaker. You can quote from this authority now. Evergreen authority, you can say, Francis Bacon. Okay? So see you, bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life.